200 million years ago, these ancient plants coexisted with dinosaurs. Having survived two mass extinctions on Earth, they still thrive to this day. Within these sheer cliffs are the marks left by geological movements, reminding us this was once the ocean floor. Each species here has adapted in remarkable ways, fighting for survival. In doing so, they have shaped this distinct landscape. Research shows that this species of gibbon shares a common ancestor with humans from 16.8 million years ago. Only 37 individuals remain, and they can be found only here. What happened? Why have so many extraordinary phenomena converged in this one place? Among the many peaks of the National Park of Hainan Tropical Rainforest are two mountains that stand apart. Separated by 200 kilometers, they present vastly different spectacles. One rises like a sharp cone, its towering peaks piercing the rainforest canopy. The other is like a huge, natural rock sculpture. Shaped over time by erosion, they create a unique karst rainforest landscape. But in fact, these two formations shouldn't be able to exist in one place. What forces of nature led to this island, bearing two such distinct marvels? This national park on Hainan Island sits at the intersection of Asia's tropical rainforests and monsoon evergreen broadleaf forests. It's a quintessential example of an Asian continental island-type rainforest, representing a transition from tropical to subtropical evergreen broadleaf forests. With central mountains and low surrounding areas, the region boasts a circular, steppe-like terrain, giving rise to various types of rainforest. The tropical lowland rainforest areas, often below 800 meters in elevation, are characterized by heavy rainfall, high humidity, and warm temperatures, with the richest vegetation. Dominating the landscape are the stellate hair vatica and the Hainan Homalium, both trees of the Dipterocarpaceae family, as well as the Heritiera parvifolia plant and wild lychee. The tropical montane rainforest is the largest and most pristine type of vertical natural vegetation in Hainan. This forest thrives in the central mountains, between 700 and 1,300 meters high, and in the mountainous eastern regions, at elevations between 850 and 1,400 meters. Dominant species here include conifers, Dacrydium pectinatum and Malayan yellowwood, the Madhuca hainanensis plant, and evergreen broadleaf trees from the Fagaceae and tea families. Epiphytic orchids, ferns, and mosses flourish as elevation increases, giving way to cloud forests. The cloud forests are found above 1,300 meters and mainly distributed in the Wuji, Yingling, and Ba Wang Ling mountains. Such areas are characterized by persistent mist and high humidity, where mosses and lichens blanket stunted, twisted trees with sparse canopies. The ground, tree trunks, and even leaves are covered in thick layers. The natural tropical coniferous forest areas, which are few in Hainan, are primarily composed of Tenosarum pine and Guangdong pine. The formation of these diverse landscapes is tied to Hainan's separation from the continent and its long period of isolated evolution. One theory suggests that Hainan Island was once connected to the continent. It's believed that around 66 million years ago, intense geological activity caused two giant rifts, leading to the collapse of the Cheongzhou Strait, which sculpted the island. As the island drifted, species became isolated, evolving separately to develop both continental and island traits. With the ocean barrier preventing gene exchanges, a unique environment was created for evolution. One of the biggest beneficiaries of this was the flying spider monkey tree fern, which appeared before the last ice age and was one of the most dominant plants in the age of the dinosaurs. This living fossil provides invaluable insight into the habitats of these ancient creatures. The sago palm is one of our planet's oldest living seed plants. This antique is still brimming with vitality today. For 1,367 species of higher plants have been recorded in Hainan's National Park, including 419 species of vascular plants that are unique to the island. 651 species of wild vertebrates have also been documented, 23 of which can only be found here. And we continue to discover new species. Hainan's tropical rainforest is a treasure trove of biodiversity and genetic resources. The Chinese dendrobium is a tropical epiphytic orchid and endemic to Hainan. Thriving in the cloud forests, it showcases the ingenuity and artistry of plant evolution. This orchid took a risky evolutionary path by abandoning the soil most plants rely on, opting instead to grow on tree surfaces, thereby avoiding fierce competition. But its cunning doesn't end there. Its pollination mechanism is a careful deception, targeting a wasp that resembles its prey, the bee. These wasps are fierce predators, crushing bees into balls to feed their larvae. The orchid exploits this behavior, releasing a scent similar to the pheromones that a bee emits when in distress. This is the second step. Acting on instinct, the wasp launches an attack, not realizing that it's striking the orchid, whose white and orange petals create the illusion of a bee collecting nectar. This is the orchid's most ingenious trick. The flower is just large enough to accommodate the wasp's body. As the insect retreats, it unwittingly collects the orchid's pollen on its thorax. This predator has become a reluctant pollinator, tricked again and again by the enticing scent, an instinctual trap ingrained in its behavior. Tropical rainforests cover just 6% of the Earth, yet are home to over half of all known species. Rainforests are vital to our planet's health, as plants provide oxygen and food for animals, including humans. All animals, directly or indirectly, depend on plants for their survival. In the National Park of Hainan Tropical Rainforest, towering ancient trees with lush foliage form rich and diverse forest communities with complex layered structures. Even in winter, it remains a vast green expanse. The lush environment is ideal for the Hainan black-crested gibbon. Today, these rare apes can be found only in Hainan's tropical rainforest. They live their entire lives in the treetops, moving and foraging in the tall canopy and mid-layers of the rainforest. Their home is in the tropical rainforest and Tenasserim pine forest areas of Ling Mountain in southwest Hainan. Their favorite foods include wild fruits, such as figs and rambutan. Animals and plants in the Hainan rainforest have long evolved in unison, forming a deep mutual understanding that has influenced biodiversity and the spatial distribution of plant species. What mysteries await in this green, unknown land? In this environment, the competition for survival is intense. As such, the strategies plants and animals use are often astonishing. Some plants have settled in the trees, seeking higher ground. These towering trees are covered with a variety of ferns, lichens, and orchids, creating an area known as the aerial garden or canopy garden. Epiphytes, which cling to tree trunks, branches, and evergreen leaves, mainly grow in the forest canopy away from the soil. Bird's nest ferns and numerous vines also contribute to the spectacle. In this rainforest, tens of thousands of plants and animals compete for survival every second. Out of necessity, they have evolved extraordinary ways of life. The flying spider monkey tree fern thrives in the moist valley floors and sun-drenched lowland areas, often forming small communities. These ferns don't flower or produce fruit. Instead, they reproduce through spores hidden on the underside of their leaves. Unlike the seeds of common plants, fern spores have a lengthy development process, taking up to a year from germination to the formation of young sporophytes. These sporangia, which look like tiny meatballs, burst open and release spores into the wind, sparking reproduction. Floating freely, the spores are carried by the rising currents into river valleys as they journey to complete fertilization. When the islands separated from the continent, space and resources became scarce, intensifying the competition among species. Through eons of evolution, species developed complex, diverse mechanisms in order to coexist, making this rainforest one of the most lively ecosystems on Earth. While the flying spider monkey tree fern thrived through self-evolution, other species devised intricate strategies to enlist outside help. Some trees, rather than rooting in the soil, root themselves in the trunks of other trees. By invading their host tissues, they extract minerals and water to nourish themselves. Berries produced by these parasitic plants attract many birds. After feasting, the birds will excrete the seeds onto a host tree, where the seeds will take root, sprout, and grow leaves to perform photosynthesis. With this parasitic lifestyle, they have carved out a niche in the rainforest. The following year, the birds will return to feed on the fruit, continuing the cycle. But not all competition among species is so harmonious. One deadly battle unfolds in silence. The roots of the fig tree are so well developed that they often give rise to a phenomenon known as forest of a single tree and roots embracing rocks. After a bird eats fig tree seeds, the seeds pass through their digestive system and are excreted into the crevices of other trees. The seeds then bide their time, waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Fig trees produce aerial roots that crawl down the trunk of the host tree until they eventually reach the ground. Once anchored, the roots thicken, branch out, and weave together, forming a network that slowly tightens around the host tree. The host, unable to resist, is slowly strangled as the fig tree siphons off its nutrients. With a lack of sustenance, the host tree will eventually disappear, consumed in the embrace of the fig tree. Though seemingly delicate, plants engage in a fierce fight for survival, a battle no less brutal than that among animals. The competition for water and sunlight is an endless war with no respite. For seeds to germinate and plants to grow, sunlight is essential. Yet, only 2% of sunlight reaches the rainforest floor. Around 66 million years ago, plants such as the flying spider-monkey tree fern took a significant evolutionary leap. They began to grow taller in search of sunlight. The flying spider-monkey tree fern is one of few ferns that grows into a tree, giving it an advantage in occupying critical ecological niches. Under the nourishing sunlight, a diverse and layered plant world flourishes. However, many seeds, deprived of sunlight, never make it past the germination stage. To escape this life-or-death struggle, plants had to evolve extraordinary strategies. The Hainan Homalium, or mother tree, can quickly grow to more than 10 meters, giving it an edge in securing light and resources. Its secret to enduring in the rainforest lies in its ability to clone itself. As it's cut down, the tree quickly sprouts saplings, a survival strategy that has allowed it to thrive. Plants in the rainforest understory also engage in a battle for light and energy. Refusing to be swallowed by darkness, they have evolved adaptations to capture as much light as possible. The giant taro, which grows on the rainforest floor, has developed enormous leaves to capture light. Some leaves are so big that they could shelter a grown human from the rain. The leaves help the plant collect more light, an adaptation to the dark conditions of the rainforest understory. As night falls, a small red beetle climbs slowly from the base of a giant taro to its leaves. This species, Aplasonix ancora, likes to feed on the huge leaves. It's intent on making this leaf its dinner. But suddenly, the beetle hesitates. It appears to sense danger. It wanders along the leaf, unable to take a bite. The giant taro is not willing to let its leaves become a feast. Veins running through the leaf carry a toxin to fend off voracious insects like this beetle. The beetle will be poisoned if it takes a bite. Just when it seems to have given up, the beetle starts to draw a circle about 3 centimeters in diameter, using its body as a compass. It has a cunning strategy of its own. By carving a circle, the insect severs the veins, cutting off the flow of toxic sap. Having neutralized the threat, it can now enjoy its meal. Although adversaries, Aplasonics ancora and the giant taro have over time influenced each other's evolution. As the taro developed its survival strategy, the beetle learned how to evade its toxic defense. This battle ultimately ensured the continuation of both species. In daylight, the circular patterns left by these geometricians of the insect world become a distinctive feature of the rainforest. Despite nourishing the beetle, the giant taro continues its photosynthesis, using the remaining leaf surface. In fact, the holes created by the beetle help the plant by allowing rainwater and wind to pass through without tearing the leaf, showing the complex relationship between plants and insects in the never-ending pursuit of light and energy. The competition among various ecological niches unfolds daily in the rainforest. Plants and animals have developed an unmatched complexity that contributes to the incredible diversity. Only 1 in 100,000 seeds will take root and germinate, and the odds of growing into a towering tree are even slimmer. Every inch of sunlight-drenched land is fiercely contested. Sometimes, a mere centimeter can determine whether a plant lives or dies. Wuji Mountain stands at 1,867 meters in the central part of Hainan Island, surrounded by 4 mountain ranges, with average elevations above 1,400 meters. These peaks create cloud forests, environments unlike any other on Earth. With consistently low temperatures and significant temperature fluctuations, these forests are perpetually shrouded in mist and rarely see clear skies. The strong winds and high evaporation rates make the competition for space and water intense. The high humidity in these forest areas supports the abundant mosses and lichens covering the ground, tree trunks, and branches. Nearly every surface is blanketed in green, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. Cloud forests are steep, densely forested areas that are often difficult to access, making them one of the least studied forests on the planet. Their formation requires 2 conditions: sufficiently low condensation temperatures and a constant supply of moisture. Under the tropical sun, Hainan's rainforest releases vast amounts of water vapor, which rises to form rain clouds. Centered on Wuji Mountain, rainwater flows in all directions, forming countless streams and rivulets. Hainan's three major rivers, the Nandu, Changhua, and Wanchuan, all originate here. These rivers flow through the rainforest, nourishing the land and sustaining life, before eventually merging with the sea. As sea breezes carry streams of moisture, the water vapor ascends the mountain slopes. The temperature drops with increasing altitude. And when it reaches the condensation point, the vapor forms a mist. In the cloud forests atop the mountains, this phenomenon plays out continuously. Hainan Island is blessed with abundant rainfall. Sometimes, this rain has been a master sculptor, carving out rare and remarkable landscapes. The Hainan stone forest has no soil, only massive rocks of various shapes, due to centuries of erosion by rainwater. Its towering, sword-like stone pillars can reach heights of up to 20 meters. Relentless rains have worn away the stone, creating a dense array of jagged rocks that resemble wolf fangs from a distance. These were formed over millions of years, layer upon layer. This area was once covered by sandstone, but erosion by rainwater has created one of the few tropical karst forest landscapes found in China. These limestone peaks first formed under the sea. With almost vertical cliffs, this area has largely escaped human interference. Jagged rocks make the area difficult to access, allowing the plants and animals here to evolve independently, untouched by the outside world. This is still a place of mystery. At Erxian Ling Mountain, 200 kilometers from the Hainan stone forest, a different karst landscape emerges. A massive limestone mountain, Erxian Ling combines karst topography and tropical rainforest, creating the scene of a forest growing on rock. The mountain has over 70 species of mollusks, with plants clinging desperately to crevices and orchids struggling to hold on to the rocks. In this soil-deprived karst rainforest, life takes on its most extreme forms. Hainan's rainforest is a vital water reservoir, and the source of several major rivers. Serving as the island's lifeblood, it's often referred to as Hainan's water tower. It plays an essential role in conserving water and regulating the climate and ecological balance, sustaining the habitats of plants and animals. But how does the water collected in tree hollows help animals survive and reproduce? A single tree can be an entire world in this rainforest. As the water they accumulate evaporates slowly, tree hollows are popular gathering places for myriad creatures. The mossy frog spends its entire life in the water collected in these hollows. Every March, they lay their eggs on the moist walls of the hollows. The male will quietly guard the eggs, waiting for them to mature. A clutch contains only a few dozen eggs, a remarkably low number for frogs. These few eggs are constantly at risk of being devoured by the other creatures that inhabit the tree hollow. The mossy frog is always scarce in number, as the process of mating and reproduction for this species is extremely difficult. As night falls, other creatures in this tiny world come to life. Neotiwa rhoppotamon whiteheady, a nocturnal species of crab, emerges to hunt. Sensing danger, the mossy frog camouflages itself, matching the color and texture of the tree bark right down to the finest details of the moss. It remains motionless, hoping not to attract the crab's attention. As the crab crawls toward the tree hollow, the mossy frog knows that his eggs are in even greater danger. At this critical moment, the eggs drop into the water, saving them from certain doom. This seemingly tranquil place is fraught with hidden dangers. The mossy frog and its spawn may have narrowly escaped this crisis, but similar threats are ever present. Although it's the part of the island with the most resources, the rainforest also has the fiercest climate. A giant, Madhuca hainanensis, has fallen. A catastrophe for the plant, but it marks the start of a new cycle for the rest of the rainforest. This is known in ecology as the formation of a canopy gap. This gap allows microorganisms and soil animals to quickly recycle the fallen tree, returning its minerals and nutrients to the soil. Without this process, dead plants would accumulate in large heaps. In some rainforests, fungi species can outnumber plant species by 33 times or more. Many fungi spread through spores, releasing up to 30,000 spores per second. If a spore finds a suitable place to land, it can colonize a new area. Fungi and slime molds on the forest floor race to decompose dead leaves and branches. The death of one tree means life for others. Here, life and death is an unending loop. This cycle is key to the health of the whole island. Biodiversity provides the foundation for human development. The richer the biodiversity, the safer all life becomes. Ripened fruits can always be found in the forest, so the Hainan black-crested gibbons rarely worry about food. When they eat the fruit, the gibbons digest the nutrients, but expel the seeds intact in their waste. A family of gibbons will travel dozens of kilometers a day in search of food, moving at speeds of up to 36 kilometers per hour. As a result, seeds of various plants are dispersed far from their source. Such collaboration between animals and plants has formed a cohesive, interdependent system where each element in the rainforest is vital. Hainan's tropical rainforest also serves as a massive carbon reservoir, crucial to maintaining the island's health. From the moment a tree begins to grow, it absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through the process of photosynthesis. The larger the tree, the more carbon it stores. The trunk, leaves, and roots, which make up nearly half of a tree's mass, are the areas with most carbon. As the fallen Madhuca hainanensis decays under the influence of fungi, it provides nutrients for new plants, completing the carbon cycle. This endless circle of life and death is what sustains the complexity and health of the rainforest. A thriving rainforest, in turn, creates a better living environment for its species. When protecting a single species contributes to the well-being of others in its habitat, this species is called an umbrella species. The Hainan black-crested gibbon is an umbrella species. Recent data shows that the gibbon population has rebounded from about 9 in the 1980s to 37 today. Many other species have also benefited from this protection. The rare Heritiera parvifolia tree is a signature species in the tropical lowland rainforest. Like the stellate Hervatica and the Hainan Homalium, the tree bears samara seeds, which boast thick corky wings that allow them to float on water and spread to new areas for reproduction. One of the unique phenomena in tropical rainforests is cauliflowery, where flowers and fruits grow directly from the trunk. In the dense canopy of the rainforest, pollinators are often active just below the treetops. By growing flowers and fruits on the trunk, trees increase their chances of pollination. Another remarkable sight is the forest of a single tree. The aerial roots of fig trees absorb nutrients and moisture from the air. When these roots reach the soil, they begin drawing nutrients from the ground, quickly thickening into prop roots. As more prop roots develop, they create the illusion of a single tree transforming into a forest. Hainan is a vital part of the world's rainforests. It is China's most concentrated, well-preserved, and diverse tropical rainforest, and its largest contiguous tropical rainforest area. The establishment of Hainan's National Park has provided a sanctuary for a vast array of rare and endangered flora and fauna. Preserving life within this rainforest also creates a better home for humanity.